Hey everyone, I'm Nolan the Gamer back with another Tears of the Kingdom video. Today I am going to be showing you some of the best armor and weapons that you can get, along with a few shrine solutions and other random things that I thought you might need help with. So without further ado, let's get right into it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm back in my casual playthrough here. Oh, let me put on my right armor. And there we go. Cool. So I actually just very recently got the Master Sword, and that's why I'm here in Korok Forest. So there's actually a shrine that a lot of people are having trouble with, and I did myself too. It's this shrine, the Musanokir Shrine. The puzzle is called Swing to Hit. Now, the first phase of this shrine is fairly easy. Really all you have to do is just kind of grab this thing, pull it up, and then use recall on it. Or at least that's what I did. And then you can just take this, and you just attach it to the metal ball here. Now, if you are confused with this part, that's fine, because I am walking through it pretty quickly here. So you just go up like that, and it swings, and it hits it. So now you understand what the name of the shrine is. So you gotta swing it to hit that. But then for this part, I had a lot of trouble with this the first time I did it. And until I figured out that it's actually a pretty simple solution, I was really stumped. No pun intended. There we go. So I can just hold that there, switch to recall, switch to ascend. Oh, it crushed me. Okay. Switch to recall, freeze it in time, and then switch to ascend. It's kind of like stasis from Breath of the Wild, where it can freeze things in time. Actually, right when you open the ability, it freezes time so you can easily get to your target. Yeah, so as you can see, it kind of freezes it for a second, and this might give you enough time. But if you hold it in place, it'll actually freeze it in time too, because it goes back through your movements. So you can kind of make little animations with this. So all you have to do for this solution is to put the tree branch, just like I did, just like that, sticking out on the edge, and then you attach this. You attach the box to the ball and chain, just like you did for the last section of the shrine. So it'll swing it like that, and it should hit. Yes, there we go. And that's all you have to do. Now, I specifically didn't solve this shrine for one reason. There is a chest over here, and I wanted to show you how to get the chest. Now, what I did for this in another playthrough was I just did that same recall trick that I did before, which has the nickname Recall-Evator. So I go here, and I just hold it there for a second. Okay, now it's been about 10 seconds, and I can just ascend through it. This is not the intended way to get this chest, but that's how I like to do it. Okay, we got a little sidetracked there, but moving back onto the weapons, we have the Master Sword. I have a spoiler-free version and a spoiler version. Well, let's start with the spoiler-free version. You should be able to go down the Minchi Woods chasm and kind of walk over to here, and you should be able to ascend up, and it'll take you where the Master Sword is, right over here. But that's where it was in Breath of the Wild, and it's, not here in Tears of the Kingdom. So what you have to do is you have to go inside the Deku Tree. So you go inside the Deku Tree here, and there's a chasm right here. It doesn't have any gloom, because I already did this, but it will have a ton of gloom down here, and it'll take you into the depths. So you'll go into here, and you need to be ready. So make sure you have at least 7 bomb flowers, so you can fuse them to your arrows, and use your strongest bow for this. I don't have any arrows, so that's kind of anticlimactic. There's like a little gloom hands thing that'll show up. Just climb up on the wall like I did, and then go into bullet time, and you can turn around and attack them with your bomb flowers. Boom, boom, boom. Now, obviously, I ran out of all my arrows and bomb flowers during this fight, so about 10 bomb flower arrows should do the trick. But after that, you'll notice that Phantom Ganon shows up. Go pretty close to him. I'll just imagine he's here, because I already completed this. So here's a tip for this battle. When he swings to the side and is about to attack you like this, then you'll want to backflip, and you do that by holding down ZR and then pressing the jump button all at the same time. But also hold down like you're walking backwards, like this. If done correctly, it will slow down time, and then you'll be able to just mash Y, and it'll get a ton of hits in. Like all of that I just did right there will all be in the fraction of a second. So it'll do a ton of damage and he won't block it, which is really nice. So yeah, after you do that, you can go back up and talk to the Deku Tree. And you go over here, you're back where the Master Sword is. Just ascend up through this branch right here, and it'll take you up, and you'll see this. This kind of looks like a Korok, but this is how you talk to the Deku Tree. Oh yeah, I sense the Master Sword. It's somewhere over here, but it's moving. This is where it kind of goes into spoilers. It's on the Light Dragon. So like skip 30 seconds ahead if you want to skip like what the Light Dragon is, so you guys kind of understand. If you don't want spoilers, you haven't done this yet. But basically, if you want to avoid the spoilers, then do all of the geoglyph memories around the map. Yeah, but these are the dragon's tears. Tears from the Light Dragon. And they're the tears of the kingdom, so now I figure out what the title means. But the Light Dragon actually is Zelda, who went through draconification by eating her secret stone. So now she's just a dragon that lives forever. Zelda went back to the past and became a dragon, and she just kind of flies around. But there's a quote from one of the memories that Minoru says, "To become an immortal dragon is to lose oneself," which means that you're basically losing all your memories. So Zelda cried all the tears around the kingdom, and this retells her story of when she went back to do draconification, which is actually really interesting. Now, throughout all of these memories, Zelda is always saying something along the lines of, "What is my purpose here? Why was I sent back to the past?" Things like that, basically every single memory. So in the last memory, we actually finally figure out why she was sent back to the past. And it was to restore the Master Sword that Ganondorf destroyed 10,000 years in the future, the present day, which we saw in the opening cutscene of the game. So after you complete the tutorial at the Temple of Time, the Master Sword gets sent back 10,000 years to Zelda standing right there, using her secret stone, which she didn't do on purpose. The secret stone did that, just like when she fell into the depths in the opening cutscene. Zelda holds the Master Sword, and she's holding it, and it's super epic. She eats her secret stone, and she becomes the Light Dragon, so she's able to put like sacred power into the Master Sword, and it allows it to be restored for Link to use 10,000 years into the future on the Light Dragon, which is so cool. So we're back to spoiler-free stuff. The Master Sword is on the Light Dragon, and you might see it flying around. So just go to the nearest Skyview Tower and launch up. You can just fly right over to it, and you can get the Master Sword because it's right on his head. But you do need 2 rings of stamina. You have to do about 20 shrines for this. So it's not too bad. You don't actually have to do exactly 20, but if you want more hearts, you're going to have to do 20. But then a way to get diamonds, and the easiest way that I found to get diamonds is by going over to Valor Island, which I know this is a little bit out of the way, but if you did the Zora quest, it should be pretty easy. So you go over to Mount Lanayru over here, and you go on the Mount Lanayru Skyview Tower. Yeah, you should see this big spiral over here. And you just fly over to that, and you should land somewhere on this spiral, probably one of these islands over here. You'll actually see a floating platform with rockets on it. You can rocket up, but that's only a temporary solution. So what you're going to need to do to get to this Valor Island is to build a hot air balloon, and if you don't, you can head over to the other one of these spiral islands, Courage Island, and on here, it will give you balloons in a device dispenser. Yeah, but in the shrine is a blessing shrine, and it gives you a diamond as a gift. And then there's a duplication glitch, which I know a lot of people are against using duping and stuff like that. So the duplication glitch that I'm about to show is actually only going to work in 1.1.1. So you can check your version by going into the home menu and then pressing plus when you're hovering over Tears of the Kingdom. But right after this, I'm going to show how to do a new duplication glitch in 1.1.2. Okay guys, so in the Faron region here, you might see this big storm whenever you get this Skyview Tower. What you want to do is you want to head straight into the storm. Spoiler warning for one of the sages, but you go to this Dragon Head Island. One of the Zonai, Minoru, her mask is there. If you bring Minoru's mask to this exact spot, and this will take you into like a half depths, half overworld area, where it's kind of like a cave, but you're glowing, and it's really weird. And if you go down this chasm for long enough, then you'll see like this area where it starts to get a little foggy. This is the area that you want to shoot, and it'll only actually dupe it if you have a multi-shot bow. So I'll use my Savage Lionel bow here, And you shoot that, and it'll like freeze midair. Oh, there we go, it works! And it froze midair, and then it duped all 3 of them, so now I can get my 3 Lynel hooves back. But if you are fine with it, then great, because all you have to do is actually really easy, and it doesn't mess up your file at all. You need to get to an area where you can pull out your paraglider, or have Link in a state where he instantly drops items, instead of just holding them. So then you're going to want to hold your item while you're midair, and then press the B button and the Y button at the same time like this. And if done correctly, you now have 2 of your desired item in your inventory. So you can just keep doing this, and it will cap out because you can only hold 5 items at a time. So it won't be exponential. It'll still grow by 5 every time. And you can use these to fuse to your weapons, because diamonds, just like in real life, are one of the strongest materials. They actually have a lot of fused attack power too. In the Hyrule Field area, I'm sure you'll find a lot of Bokoblin camps around. So what you're going to want to do is, after you have the Master Sword, you can pretty much 2-shot these things. So it's really nice. Now, I was a frame away from dying right there. Why did I do that? It doesn't matter if you have like super OP weapons or something like that. Just fight them and it'll get you better gear. There's something even crazier that can get you even more overpowered items. Right over here, you'll see the Colosseum from the last game, and this is where you fought a Lynel, or possibly 2 if you're in Master Mode. But in the depths, right below it, there's a floating Colosseum with a Lynel boss rush. So if you're up to that challenge, then definitely do it. You can just jump down the nearest chasm, the North Great Plateau Chasm, and then you go along in the depths, and you make it to like right over here, and it's like floating above a bunch of gloom. It's really cool, but it's also really hard. So you're gonna have to be prepared with a lot of food or really good armor. And this actually perfectly transitions to our next topic, which is Hyrule Castle. And the thing about Hyrule Castle, there are some really good weapons and a secret armor piece right in here. Another easy way to go is to just launch from the Lookout Landing Skyview Tower, fly over to Hyrule Castle. And that's probably what I'm going to do because I need to get to the top. But if you go in the Sanctum, where you fought Calamity Ganon in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, then it's actually fairly easy to get some really good gear, really powerful, and is actually pretty early game. You can seriously get most of this stuff as soon as you enter free roam. Yeah, we're moving on to armor now to prepare you for the Colosseum, but really anything else that you want to do. And actually one of the sets that I have now is the glide armor. But you can get this from these spiral islands that I've mentioned before. There's one right over here, one right over here, where you got the diamond, right over here above the Korok Forest, Bravery Island. But inside the Sanctum here, where you fought Ganon in the last game, you can just go up over here, but the torches are the key. So if you attach anything fiery, it could be an amber, it could be a fire key swing, light both of these torches on fire, then this statue will open up with the champion's tunic inside. And it actually looks really cool and probably really nostalgic for a lot of players. But there is some weapons in Hyrule Castle that will help you. All around here, there are Royal Guards gear. And these actually do respawn. That is some of the gear in Hyrule Castle. It's all in this Sanctum area. But if you do want some more gear, there is a map that will show up here. And there's a lot of important stuff here. Like in B3, there's the dining hall. There's a lot of areas that'll give you some good gear. The next thing is the Fierce Deity set. So if you go to Elden Canyon here, there should be a stable around here with a chain quest that will get you the Fierce Deity armor. But cold resistance is very important in this game. If you want to explore the Lanayru region, which is actually pretty cold, or the Gerudo Mountains, or anywhere near the Hebra region, you're going to need some cold resistance armor. And with the Gerudo region, you're going to need heat resistance armor. Right over here at Lookout Landing, there's the Hylian set. But a cool thing about the Hylian tunic is that it gives you cold resistance. So if you pair that with the Archaic Warm Greaves, then this will give you double cold resistance, which allows you to survive in most cold areas of the game. But then once you make it to Karakara Bazaar, in the Gerudo area, I recommend going at nighttime. Heat resistance and cold resistance are both very important things in this game. And there's the Desert Voe headband that you can get and this will give you heat resistance, which will allow you to survive in most areas. But Hateno Village and Kakariko Village are very important things for your quest. So from Lookout Landing, you just walk southeast, kind of follow this path, and then you'll see two bridges together, and you can just go straight, and then turn left, and then turn right, and then it'll lead you to Kakariko Village, where there's actually some really overpriced armor there. And I'm going to show you how to get that armor to a normal amount, because it actually is pretty strong armor. Okay, so I actually spent like 20 minutes looking for where this quest goes, but there's actually this girl's grandma here got hurt by the gloom, and what she needs is something to cure her gloom. Now you can make this out of Hylian rice, fresh milk, and a Sundelion. Now you can get Sundelions from Sky Islands, and you can get your Hylian rice and fresh milk from the Hateno Village General Store. And Hateno Village is right here, in the middle of the Mount Lanayru Skyview Tower and the Farron Skyview Tower. So just keep following that path from Kakariko Village, and then turn left, and then just keep going, and it'll take you to Hateno. Now heading back to Kakariko Village, you can now cook this with your newfound ingredients. So you come back to this girl, and you can then use your Sundelion, your fresh milk, and your Hylian rice, and it'll give you sunny veggie porridge. And then she'll smell the porridge, and her grandmother's all great again, and the prices go back down. You're welcome. Now that you have some of those stronger armor and weapons, you should be able to take on the Colosseum and get even stronger armor and weapons. And the nice thing is, it's not a complete boss rush. After you defeat every Lynel, it does save the game. I think it'd be really cool if I go to where I'm like right on top of it, and then I just dive straight down in. I hope I line it up right. I should be able to just go straight down. That is so cool. And another really important thing that you'll need in Tears of the Kingdom is a flying device to get around with all the light roots. Oh my gosh, I found the missing light root, and this actually shows you exactly where the Colosseum is. It is right here. That is the floating Colosseum. So you use your flying machine here, mine is actually really hard to control. You ready for this, guys? I'm not actually going to fight all of them. Now, I'm pretty good at fighting Lynels from my Breath of the Wild experience. But if you aren't, just when they charge at you, instantly backflip, like you would for the Phantom Ganon fight. See, it's already at half health, and I've only done like 2 flurry rushes. And you can just repeat this over and over and over, and it's pretty easy. See, and they have a new attack where they like go up, like, nay! Stuff like that. And then they charge at you, so just backflip at the right time, and you can, like, do this super easily. That is cool. But now I have a multi-shot bow. So see, it gives you a lot more cool stuff. So after you fight the gold Lynel at the end of this, you will have such OP weapons, it will be insane. But this guy has new attacks, so that's cool. But those are all my tips for getting a lot of really cool weapons and armor in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.